All right, so our confession exhortation this morning comes from Proverbs 3, 5 through 8. Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and do not lean on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge Him, and He will make straight your paths. Be not wise in your own eyes. Fear the Lord and turn away from evil. It will be healing to your flesh and refreshment to your bones. This is a proverb written by King Solomon to his son, who would one day be king. We know that this advice was largely unheeded by his son, Rehoboam, who chose to be a harsh king and whose actions led to the kingdom of Israel being divided. Even worse, though, Solomon himself did not actually heed his own wisdom. In Deuteronomy 17, God tells Israel that there are 3 things that a king must not do: acquire many horses, acquire many wives, and acquire too much gold. And at the root of these 3 actions are the pursuit of power, pursuing idolatry, and greed. And in 1 Kings 10 and 11, we see Solomon do all 3. The sad irony is that Solomon was the wisest man in all the earth. In the first years of his rule, God granted Solomon anything he desired. And rather than riches or long life or power, Solomon asked for wisdom. And God gave it to him, to the extent that there was none before or after who had the wisdom of Solomon. So if anybody knew God's law and understood the potential consequences of breaking that law, it was Solomon. Yet he failed, despite all of his wisdom. And this is what I want for you to consider this morning. As we start back into the new school year, we need to heed Solomon's proverb and take care not to imitate him. And especially in our church, I think, where we are very intentional about our children's education. Most of us are pursuing homeschooling and private Christian schooling because we are pushing back against the status quo. We are saying no when the state says, give us your children. We want better for our children. And we are all willing to work hard to achieve this, which is great. So that is not the ditch that we have to be worried about falling into. The ditch we need to watch out for is the one where education becomes the primary goal, the thing that will save our kids or give them a better life or will even save our society, because it won't. A good education can be helpful, and it's an important aspect of our mission to change the culture, but it must be properly grounded in the fear of the Lord. Solomon had all the wisdom in the world, but he turned away from the Lord. And in fact, it's not hard to imagine that Solomon's actions had a pretty big impact on his son. The lesson then is to do what Solomon said and not do what Solomon did. So as you make your lesson plans, adjust to the new school schedule, and fill up your calendar with educational and athletic events, start your days by spending time in the Word, praying and singing as a family. Train your children, as well as yourselves, that all of the things worth doing, math, literature, debate, competitive sports, farming, baking, engineering, whatever it is, loving God and loving our neighbor is the most important and the most worthy thing that we can do. Focus on character over achievement. Take the time to deal properly with sin in your family through confession and forgiveness. And make Sunday worship a priority, not field trips or team travel ball or whatever else could take you away. Be here. Fear the Lord, and He will make your path straight. And this means that if you begin with the fear of the Lord, honoring Him with your life, your family, your time, then He will not just guide you in the right direction, although He does do that. He will take the chaos, the hectic schedule, the educational anxieties that we all experience as parents and students, and He will straighten out what was crooked. That's His promise. So in other words, the world becomes easier to navigate when we begin by looking at the right roadmap. Another way to say it is, do not trust the process. Trust in the Lord, and He will bless you in your endeavors.